Hello, buddy. Omni here. We got our first trailer for Annabelle Comes Home, aka Annabelle 3, I guess is what you would call it. It's the third installment in the Annabelle series of spin-offs for the Conjuring universe. Probably comparatively the only other shared universe that is considered successful other than the MCU. Now, they're on completely separate tiers, but arguably this is a successful shared universe, doing much better than DC, given some of their more recent films seems to be getting a lot better. Aquaman I enjoyed quite a lot, and Shazam is getting quite a lot of praise. I can't wait to check that out. A little off topic, but let's go ahead and check this out. The last movie in this series, The Nun, was a huge disappointment for me personally. I know it made a buttload of money despite that, because they hyped it up so bad, so much within the franchise itself. So it's not surprising that a lot of people were like, ooh, I want to see what this is about. I don't know how many people left it feeling okay after the fact, but you all do you. I did not. I had a good time laughing at the film, if anything. But anyway, guys, let's jump into this and check out what we got for the next installment of Annabelle. Watcha. That creepy doll.
Everything you see in here is either haunted, cursed, or has been used in some kind of ritualistic practice. Nothing's a toy. It's safer for these things to be in here than out there. Sometimes it's better to keep the genie in the bottle.
Okay, this one actually has the Warrens,
Don't
it
your
seems.
parents keep any creepy stuff around?
We keep it all locked away in a room so that we're safe. It's not really good for anyone to go in there.
Babysitter or something? Oh, why would you do this? Oh, samurai armor is moving. Why would you even do anything in there? I don't care if you believed in it or not. I mean, respect the owners of the house, please. Oh, freaking great.
I like your doll.
I like your doll. I don't know who that was.
What did you do? I let her out. Who?
It's
Annabelle.
me.
I'm sorry. What else did you touch? Everything.
That has to be cut, because
Can I play with Annabelle?
I think you have the wrong house. There's no Annabelle here.
Yes, she is.
I sometimes see things.
Like how my mom sees things.
The doll, it's a beacon for other spirits.
alrighty. See, there's at least some really great visuals here. Oh no.
I like your doll.
We're gonna get a grudge moment, aren't we? My God. Okay. It's not hard to know what was coming there. The only time something like that got me was when I was like a lot younger, and it was in The Grudge. And I feel like I could be completely remembering it poorly, but I remember that being much more effective in The Grudge of all things. But I don't know. They're really pushing hard to try to keep this really fresh, upping these stakes, I guess, as well. Now, the line specifically when the brunette says, what else did you touch in there? And then it has that little cut and she just goes, everything. I feel like that's a different conversation, and that's just cut for the tension of the trailer, because realistically, what did she do? Go in there and just like Go touch a ball. Like, I don't know. I feel like that was cut for the suspense of the trailer and not much else. Um, Short of James Wan's directed films, these have been heavily reliant on jump scares, and that is kind of where these spinoffs have not been that effective. I like learning more about these individual spirits since they were set up in the Conjuring films themselves, and all of those explorations of that, excluding the nun, because that was just ridiculous. There's so many plot holes with that entire situation, and so many ways that could have all been prevented. Questions. There's a lot. I could do like a full rant on that movie, but I'm not going to. So I'm curious how this goes in. We do get a couple of shots of the Warrens themselves in this. This is the most connected that an Annabelle film has been to the main timeline, the main followings of Ed and Lorraine Warren. So that's interesting to see how that ties in. Is this going to somehow springboard into The Conjuring 3, since it directly involves the Warrens? This movie takes place in their home, which I can only assume maybe they're away doing some other kind of investigation and they've left their daughter there yet again. This time though with babysitters, it seems. That's at least what I can assume, because they seem a fair bit older than their daughter herself. So at first, like the first time I saw like a couple screens for it, I was like, is this like a sleepover where things kind of go crazy? But I think I'm leaning more towards these might be babysitters or something like that. But I guess she's also developing the same abilities to see spirits and get visions, much like her mother is or has. So I'm wondering how that's going to come into play, and it's probably going to give us a lot of ethereal kind of spectral scares in this, a lot of tension and mood setting probably. I'm looking forward to it. I'm more connected to the stories that directly tie into the Warrens, because I just enjoy those characters themselves, as well as the real life Ed and Lorraine Warren. Fascinating people to read about, and see like their interviews and stuff like that, like the people that these characters were actually inspired by, as well as some of these investigations. A lot of interesting stuff, but I'm curious to see where these are all going to go. I know it won't go this way, but I would love to see some, since this is like a shared universe within the Conjuring thing, and they're like the Avengers of paranormal investigators. I would love to see like a bunch of these spirits like down the road, just like team up like Sinister Six style, and try to take out the Warrens. That would definitely be like the jump the shark moment of the series, of the franchise. But I would love to see something just off the chain after so many of these, where a lot of them kind of feel like the same movie after a little while. But it would be pretty hilarious and awesome all at the same time. I'm all for cheese rather than just a boring movie. So I go for it if that happens. It won't, but one can dream. Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't catch me like some of the other ones do. It definitely, the vibe, at least because of the setting and the characters themselves and involving the Warrens, I will give it more points out of the gate than the first Annabelle movie. The second Annabelle was great. It was really good. I liked a lot of the cast, the characters, the scares, the setting, all of that I thought was really effective for the most part. And the Nun is just, I would prefer never just to bring that up. I also don't understand how they're going to be doing the Crooked Man, because the Crooked Man was just a story, unless in the way that the nun was a demon spirit that took the form of a nun. If somehow a different spirit latches on to the Crooked Man little wind up song box thing and becomes a manifestation of it, because the Crooked Man itself isn't inherently a scary thing or a spirit or anything like that. So I don't know how they're going to pull that movie off, but that would be my best guess in that direction, what they would do to even make that viable as a horror arc. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm always open to these films. I wish James Wan had more time to direct some of these himself, because The Conjuring 1 and 2 were definitely the best ones, and the pace, the character development, all of that, the scares themselves were much better in those and more interesting. But, you know, DC and all of his other projects, man, this guy is a busy dude. And between producing a bunch of things, writing a bunch of things, and like coming off the heels of something huge like Aquaman, I completely understand that he's might be a while before he's in the director's chair again, especially since he's trying to figure out how to follow up Aquaman 2 with DC as well. So I'm not surprised, but I would like to see him back and helming one of these films. That's all I got for today. So let me know what you think down in the comments. Which has been your favorite in this series of films? What's your favorite horror movies in general, if you have any? I'm particular to Michael Myers and the Halloween franchise, among that genre as well. So let me know. I'd love to have a conversation down in the comments. And if you like this video, just like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care.